fucker. I don't know what I can say back to a Norwegian guy. Yeah, you moose fuckers. You guys don't even give a shit. The worst bit is I don't even think you realize I'm actually joking. Every time I call the Norwegian a moose fucker, I always get the same response. It's like, yeah, you moose fuckers. It's always like, no. You cannot fuck moose. Moose is a very dangerous creature. Moose will fuck you up. You cannot, yeah, but I'm joking. No, you cannot joke with moose. Moose is very dangerous. It will fuck you up. It's kind of strange. I was dating this woman here in Norway, and I get to hear about your dreams. A lot of people want to go to Australia, and some of them seem really weird. Like, I met a girl here in Norway, and her dream was she wanted to go to Australia and touch an Aboriginal. I was like, man, I'd love to see that. Just to get off the plane and see this blonde Norwegian girl with hair and a ponytail, and yeah, that shit's not dirt. Yeah. Anyway, I live in this country. I actually went home at Christmas 2 years ago, and I had a nice bit of a holiday there and travelled around. And then I came back because I live now in Norway. I came back to Norway 2 years ago, and this whole country had changed overnight. You started creating new laws, like I found it is now illegal in this country to marry your cousin. I didn't realise you needed a law not to marry a cousin. Then I went up north to Buddha, and that explained everything. I also found out that the oil fund is back to where it was before the stock market crashed. You can now afford to pay, every single citizen of this country, 9.6 trillion billion kroners, and not touch the principal which sits on top of capital. And for all that money you guys have in this country, the one thing that blows me away is you still have not learned how to build a road worth of shit here. Have you noticed that? Yeah, what the hell is wrong? Like, I went from Oslo to Kristiansand, it's 300 kilometers. It took me fucking 9 hours. I'm like, you go, welcome to Norway. It's just bullshit. It's like, oh, well, you want to go over there? Then fuck you, you need to go that way. Maybe you'll have to take a ferry across some maybe it's Japan, cheese, and short and Santa Claus to get over the last fucking mountain. Otherwise you go back that way for miles. And the worst thing about it, you always put these signs up on the side of the road that says, this road will be finished in the year 2187. Like, who the hell is making these signs up? Is it like just the Arbeiter Party fucking with you guys? I don't know, what year should we put up this year? It'll never get done, so I don't know. 2384. I tell you the problem, the reason the roads never get built here is because you hire Norwegians. Yeah, you guys, if you want to do anything, you have to have a committee. It's like, oh, we want to build a road. Oh, we need to get a committee and talk about it. Tell you, if you want to get anything done here, hire a Polishman. We want a road from here to here. Bang! It's fucking genius. How the hell do you do that? We just use all the shit you stole. I love this. You guys are really nervous. It's a beautiful country, but I must admit I've been everywhere. I went to Bergen, which is, as I discovered, the rainiest place on the planet. A lovely place there. I've been as far south as Kristiansand, where the women's nipples point upwards. I've even been as far north as Kirkenes, which is what I said, right? Kirkenes? But as I discovered, that was fucking wrong, because it's not, like, this is the thing you say to every foreigner, is just say it the way you would read it, right? And I went, Kirkenes, and everybody here went, no. Because just because it looks like an English alphabet, it doesn't mean it is. Like, as I discovered, it's a Germanic alphabet, and A is not A, it is A. B is ba. C is da. And then you got this blah, blah, blah. And then, of course, you got those 3 extra fuckers on the end there. Is it so important for you guys to throw up when you communicate? Can't you just leave it for all those guys over in Bergen to do for us? And actually, as I found out, is also an island, right? Means island as well as as in a letter. Can you actually on an You actually have an that is an Can you on an that is named or is that an all? Now I'm just talking about it. So as I found out, Kirkenes is not actually said Kirkenes, it's actually said Shirkenes, right?
Yeah.
Yeah, but even that is fucking wrong, because as I discovered, it's not until you actually put the dude in this language that people know what the fuck you're on about. People are like, where are you going? I'm going to Shirkenes. I think you mean Shirkenes. If you haven't been there, don't fucking bother. Trust me, there's fuck all to do in Shirkenes. There's so little to do there, it makes this place look like Disneyland. That's how if you haven't been there, I'll describe what you do. There's only two things you can do up in Shirkenes. You can either watch the Russian border, or fucking polar bear. That's it. I know some of you people have watched Bazaar, the show over here, and discovered that there are actually no polar bears living on the mainland here in Norway, but that is bullshit. Because you guys have not seen the women up in Shirkenes. I swear, she had the nicest björnfit I've ever seen.
What?
Yeah. Guys having a good time? It's nice, I always get that Norwegian response. You know, most countries in the world, we have what's known as a heckler. Do you know what a heckler is? For those of you that don't know, I've travelled around, one go, yeah. But most countries have a heckler, like, I've performed in most places on the planet, and if the crowd likes what you're doing, they're like, yeah, right on. If they don't, they're like, you suck balls. This is a Norwegian heckle. This is all you fuckers do, you just I know what's going through your head, you're like, if I stare at him hard enough, maybe he'll start to sweat and we can just forget this traffic accident, we can just fuck off, we can leave this thing. It's really weird too, because I even discovered that I get the same thing when I try to speak this language, you know, because I think it's responsible to speak this language. And I'll be wrapping my tongue around my intestine to swallow a kidney to get the right out. And every time I sit there going, and you go, and then I start to doubt that I'm saying it correctly, so I'm like, förstår du? Du förstår? And you're always like, And then as soon as I'm done, I'm like, ta-da! You guys are like, ingenting bara. It's the weirdest thing, I'll even prove it right now. When I first came here, I went and looked at this Viking burial grave, the old Viking, I believe you call it a hoe.
What?
A hoe? See, I even told you I was going to do it. You go, a hoe? You're like, Disastrous. You can just leave me out there to dry. I'll be crying tears of blood. You wouldn't give a fuck. This is hilarious. It's kind of fun, you know, when I first moved here to this country, you look at yeah. When I first came to this country, one of the great things about Norway is you give the foreigners here free Norwegian lessons to learn Norwegian. I thought this was going to be awesome. I was given free classes to learn to speak Norwegian. And I went to school to learn Norwegian bokmål the way Norwegian was meant to be spoken. Because this was hard to me, because I didn't actually at this stage understand dialects, you know, like I'm from Australia. Australia's the same size as Europe. If you're standing in Brisbane, people are like, g'day. And if I go 12 hours south of like solid driving, like this, and get to Sydney, people are like, g'day. And if I do the same, and get down to that toilet bowl in Melbourne, people are like, g'day. And then if I drive right across to that big useless rock in the middle of the desert, people are like, bonjour. Because I'm in Britain, so I'm fucking climbing the bastard. But then if I drive down the other side and go right across the rest of Australia, like the other side of Europe, people are like, g'day. It's not the same everywhere. But here it always confused me. You can get one guy on this side of the road and another guy on that side of the road. And one guy will go, hey, and the other guy will go, I was sitting there watching this going, what the fuck are you guys talking about? It was a new experience, these guys. I never really understood them. And I was given these free Norwegian classes. It was kind of an interesting thing because we got this very hype